Hi, everybody. Is it on? It's on.
No, it is upside down.
I think we're going to get started. How is everybody doing today? It's actually fairly cool in here, so we're happy. Welcome to the next Artist WorkLab. This is a series that we've been doing once a month starting in the spring, and tonight is creating professional videos and reels from your cell phone, and everybody has a cell phone, so I think this is going to be really relevant to all of us. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jane Davila. I am the executive director here at Metro Art Studios, and we're really pleased to be doing this series in collaboration with the Cultural Alliance of Fairfield County and David Green, with support from Connecticut Humanities. And yeah, I think it's just been really great, and we appreciate all of your feedback and the fact that all of you keep coming and that new people come every time. We have things scheduled out through next winter, and we'll obviously be continuing on after that, but I don't think we're going to run out of things to talk about because there's just so many different topics that are going to be really relevant. So, David, would you like to introduce yourself?
So David Green, Cultural Alliance of Fairfield County. For the few of you who may not know what we do, we are a coalition of about 300 cultural nonprofits and about 250 individual artists in an area from Greenwich to Shelton. We're all about connection and collaboration. We strongly recommend you becoming a member. $50 for a year. You get a web page on our website. You get to post all your events and join in whatever we do. And you get the benefit of our advice. I'd like to point out Laurie at the back. Laurie is our marketing guru. And we're happy to answer any questions you have about what we do. And this is just one part. We're very thrilled to be working with Jane and Metro on this series of professional development for artists. And yeah, this is actually my last time, as I will be leaving the Cultural Alliance in 3 weeks. And we have a new executive director who I trust will be here next month. So yeah, why don't we take it away, Jane?
Okay. So we're going to start with just a little bit of statistics. I'm a numbers nerd, and I really love to know, like, what are the numbers behind things. And so some of the numbers about videos would be that 30% of the time spent on Instagram, for example, is spent watching reels. So not scrolling through photographs or reading captions, it's actually watching reels. Videos are more likely to be shared than any other kind of content. Video posts get 40% more comments and likes than photo posts, and visitors linger over photos longer than they linger over videos longer than they do over photos. And then just to really blow your mind, more than 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. That is a lot of videos. That equates to 30,000 hours of new content every hour. Let's see, and if you use social media, chances are you will see some of the more than 3.2 billion images and 720,000 hours of video shared every day. So there's a lot of content out there. So how do we do it? How do we get in on it? How do we do a good job with our phones? And how do we get a share of that audience to help promote our work as well? And so today we have two really awesome guests. They both happen to have studios here. They both happen to be photographers and videographers and experts in their field. And so I'd like them to introduce themselves. First is Daniel.
Hello, everybody. I'm Daniel Recinos. I'm a filmmaker and photographer. I'm also working right now, so I'm going to be getting up every few minutes to go check up on that. So, sorry about that. Yeah, so we'll see how today goes. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gary Judkins, professionally known as Gary Pivot. Like Jane said, I do photography, videography. Been doing it for a couple years now, and yeah.
Great. Yeah, I know that they both work with a lot of nonprofits, they work with individuals, they work with brands and big corporations. So they really have a lot of expertise. And so what we're doing today is really focused on cell phones, but of course they've got fancy equipment and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, like the rest of us, they're artists and they know how to adapt and deal with smaller amounts of technology. So our first question is, we're actually going to ask the questions in 3 sections. So if you have a question, just raise your hand and we'll call on you can ask. The first section is about actually making the videos. The second section is with content and ideas for content. And the third is the posting of the videos. Because I think sometimes people may know how to make a video, but they get super bogged down in the technology of like, now what? What do I do with it? How do I save it? Where do I put it? All of those things. So with the making of the videos, the first question is, do you need a special phone to take a good video?
Yes and no. I see a lot of people with flip phones. Flip phones are great. They're not distracting, but they won't help you in this case. Honestly, you can use any smartphone with a camera. We would prefer iPhone. The reason why is because programs like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they actually screen record your video and then upload to the app. The reason is that the Android software is available to so many companies that they can't keep up with all these phones. Thankfully, the iPhone is one phone, one company. You'll get the best quality out of that. So yes, it does matter and it doesn't matter. But I will say, no matter what phone you use, please clean your lens before you film. It makes a huge difference. The moment you take that phone out, grab your shirt, wipe your lens. If you don't, then you're gonna have a very blurry, ugly, greasy video.
Quick question about that, and that's very useful information that I think we all forget sometimes, or some of us might do anyway. But if we have a lens protector over our thing, does that affect the quality at all?
It actually makes it worse.
Worse, thank you.
Worse, because you have an extra piece of glass and you can still get grease on that as well.
You have thoughts about that, Gary?
I was just gonna say that maybe with the protector that you have on your lens. Sorry. With the protector on your lens, I would occasionally take that off and clean your actual lens as well, because dust still can get under there too. So, yeah.
So, you know, these phones keep adding lenses. I mean, good God. I got, what, 4 lenses on this camera. So, or 3, yeah. What's the other one? Oh, that's the flash, yeah. So if someone was going to be thinking about a new phone, do you have any recommendations? Do you have any favorites? Are some significantly
Yeah,
better than
what are we
others?
looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you have an iPhone, I would say the latest phone that you have should work fine. They all have really great cameras, honestly. The different cameras, all they do is basically just zoom in. They're at different focal lengths. So with the technology now, you can really do a lot with the latest. Even if it's like the iPhone, as far as back as maybe like the iPhone 8, would you say? 6? Yeah.
The 4, I think, had the best photo camera, and the 6, it's incredible. I love that one and the 6. So the iPhone 4 and the 6 were my favorites.
Yeah.
How many lenses did they have?
One.
That it only had one at that, but it was.
Had better compression, had the
That's preference,
pixels
though.
were different. Yeah, it's preference.
That's
It
more
really is
preference, to
preference.
be
It's
honest.
preference. I love it. I like the old school cameras with the old school lenses. It just has this texture to it. It doesn't look too digital and too fake like we have now. But yeah, pick the newest iPhone is gonna be better. For video. For video,
video.
you want honestly anything that films video.
Yeah.
It's all about story anyways, at the end of the day. Don't get an Android.
What settings should you use on the phone to make a good quality video?
So I always tell people, if you look at your camera settings on your phone, 4K. Always go 4K. These apps are going to compress all your video anyways. So if you start with a big high quality video, you're going to end up with a higher quality video anyways. You can change your frame rate. If you want that like soap opera look, you can switch it to 30 frames or higher. I personally keep it at 24, where it's more like Hollywood cinema movie. It's not as milky smooth. It's preference, but I will say 4K 100% of the time, and clean your lens. Thank you.
And where do you set the frames? Where do you?
Same spot. You go to your camera settings on your phone. I don't know Android, sorry. But iPhone, check your camera settings. We'll go through it now. If you go to your settings,
You can go to the search bar at the top
or
of your
search
settings
bar, yeah.
instead of like scrolling all the way through. Just type in camera, and then that should pop up from there, and then it should show you all the formats, and then you can decide from there
Yeah.
which one you want to use. I don't know why
I don't
mine
have
are currently
camera.
on 1080, but like Daniel said, 4K is definitely the best. I prefer 60 frames just because I like to do slow motion from time to time.
I just wanted to add value to the room too. So anytime you're actually shooting the video, at the bottom, it has the magnification 0.51x and 2x or 3x, depending on the iPhone that you have. Make sure that you're pressing on the buttons below, because if you increase or decrease that number, it gets grainy. So always use the factory settings when it comes to that, because the lenses are gonna work better, yeah?
That's a good point. Basically, what it's doing is you're zooming in, and it's almost sure. It's on your in your camera settings towards the bottom. They'll have numbers like 0.5 or 1 or 2. Basically, that changes your zoom, and it's best to kind of just be on the exact number. So you can just press on that instead of zooming, because when you zoom, it's basically just going in between the different focal lengths for the most part.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why the 0.5, it's a wide lens zoom or the wide lens is so dark, is because these wide lenses don't bring in a lot of light. Even when you're shooting with a kit lens on a camera, the wider you go, you're not going to get a lot of light with these lenses. So honestly, your best lens is going to be the default one, which is usually the one in the middle. You'll have the best light. That's the one Apple usually talks about when they're talking about their f1.7 lenses. It's usually that middle lens. But I do want to add one more thing in your settings. I know HDR video looks really cool and it looks pretty, but it's going to ruin your video. It looks very colorful and very bright, but if you ever want to work with someone who's going to be promoting your video, the moment they pop that into the program, it's going to look like complete garbage. It's going to look extra saturated, extra contrasty. Shadows are going to be really low. Highlights are going to be extremely high. Never use that HDR video. I would, honestly, if you were in a position where you have to film, try to get it right the first time on the camera and not using the effects on the camera. So definitely 4K, remove the HDR, and shoot at any lens that you want to shoot. Make sure it's just properly lit and clean your lens. Thank you.
Is that the smart HDR?
Yes. Yep.
Turn that off.
Does-
Yeah, definitely turn that off.
One thing I want to mention, Lori is a beast at filming with her phone. I've seen her videos and they are incredible. Like, it's insane what she does with her phone. So look out for that too.
Thank you, but I had smart HDR.
Did everyone with an Android find the settings on their phone? No? Okay, can somebody who found the settings tell everybody else where they are? Yeah. No, some people have Androids. Yeah. 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 So- You found the settings? Yeah.
What? Most cameras now, when you open up the camera app, you're able to switch You can change the settings on the camera app themselves.
Okay. Okay. Dawn, you had a question?
By 60 is double what Daniel said, so.
I like to do a lot of slow motion video. So the more frames you have, the more you can. I like to do a lot of slow motion with my videos. So the more frames you have, the better the slow motion looks. So that's honestly why. But you have the option to keep it at regular speed, or you can go slow motion with it. With 24, you can't really go slow motion at all. So
Not at all.
30, it's you can slow it down a little bit.
90%
Yeah,
slower.
yeah.
Or
It'll look
10%
like a
slower.
dream
So if you're
in a
at
way.
60, like if I change it to 60, because I think about some slow motion
Yes.
possibilities, does that mean that it's gonna just really take a lot of space on my
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bigger file, definitely.
Yeah.
So I just ordered one of those external hard drives, and then that's 64,
Mm-hmm.
64 gigs, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, they come in that size. I will say you should get 500 or more if you're going to be shooting
Yes.
60. Yeah, that's too small. That's extremely small.
That's very small.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, well, the reason why is so I'm gonna ruin this. I'm very sorry. So with video, it's 24 frames per second. That's 24 photos per second. Now, can you hold this really quick? Actually, let me not do it. Okay, imagine 24 folds in this thing, right? You can't stretch it any more than 24, but if you fold it 60 times, 60 photos per second, you're gonna have way more photos, so that's gonna take up more data, and you can stretch them out like an accordion and really slow-mo that footage down. So what that does, I didn't fold it. So yeah, you are gonna take up more data. 4K is also gonna take up more data, but you did make a great point that I forgot to mention. Please get an external hard drive if you're gonna be doing this a lot,
Yes.
and get the adapters to save everything. Do not save these things to your phone because you're going to get a message that your phone is, you ran out of data. You got to pay for the iCloud. And the iCloud is kind of a scam because just because it's on your phone doesn't mean it's on the cloud. And just because it's on the cloud doesn't mean it's on your phone. And if you delete it from your phone, it's going to delete from the cloud. It's chaotic. I always save everything to hard drives where I have full control and nothing's going to get deleted by mistake. So please get an external hard drive and save once a week, once a month, every day, and please clean your lens. Thank you.
Sharon?
I have a question about the 60 frames. So if you're using the 60 frames and you're saying that the making sure you have like Sierra for your OS,
Yes.
is that the recent one, the most recent, or because what if people have a version, a lower iPhone and they can't upgrade to that?
You should be fine. It's more for playback, I guess for the most part. Or if you're is it for editing?
That's right.
More for editing?
Use apps.
Yeah, if you've used apps, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, contrary to what people think, these apps are really good. These apps are really, really good. And sometimes they're a lot faster than actual editing programs. It's just insane what these apps can do. So use your apps. If you can record it on your phone, you can edit it on your phone too with the app. No need to transfer it to computer.
Which app? The app that comes.
There's a lot of apps, a ton. I know CapCut's really famous right now. You can do it.
Definitely.
CapCut, CAPCUT. Everybody uses CapCut. If you use CapCut, do not tell your videographer that you can do it on CapCut because you will be escorted out of the room immediately. You have, what is it? Premiere Rush. That,
Yeah.
I don't use any of these apps.
I don't either.
Because
You
I
can
have
use
that.
Canva as
I
well.
use the editing programs. Yeah, Canva
Yeah.
does it. We edit on our computers. So if I really have to put something on Instagram, I'll just post it on Instagram and add the clips there, which you can do as well. But CapCut seems to be the most popular and easiest one to use from what I've seen, and it's universal on every phone.
I just wanted to mention, as an artist making videos, I have two video editing apps that I use a lot on my phone. One is iMovie. It comes with your phone, It's pretty straightforward to use. I actually find it easier to use on my phone than on my laptop. The laptop has more options. It's a little more confusing. And then for making reels where you want to add like filters or text or other things, music, there's one called Temply that I use a lot. It does cost money, but it is so simple to use, and it gives you a really professional looking result. But there are literally hundreds of apps out there. It's a matter of finding one that fits you and what you're looking to get out of it. Some are free, some are really low cost, some have subscriptions, some have a one-time fee. But just kind of look around, even Google like good app for editing films, because obviously the rest of us are not going to spend a lot of time on our laptops editing our videos. It's going to be easier to do it from the phone, directly from the phone, and then save it back to be able to post. So that leads into our, oh, Robin. iMovie. iMovie's an Apple product, and it's available on laptops and desktops and on your phone. Susan? Temply. Yeah, that's I use that all the time, and I really like it. I find it really simple, has a ton of copyright-free music on it. Anybody who follows the Metro page, most of the videos that I post are done with that app. So our next question is, for somebody who's getting started and you're looking for like basic equipment, what is really good basic equipment that you would recommend that people start with? So beyond a cloth to clean your lens, what's the next thing they should be looking for? Or the next things?
Lens wipes. No. Honestly, what's it called? Get a case, but make sure it's open in the camera section. Definitely get a case. Get a hard drive. That's a big one.
Tripod.
Get a tripod.
Tripod's very important, especially if you're going to be recording yourself. Make sure you get the, what is it called?
The
Adapter? Is it an
iPhone holder?
Yeah,
The phone
pretty much
holder.
a phone
Get the phone holder adapter on your tripod.
That's definitely helpful. You don't want to have to like tape it to the, it's ridiculous. So yeah.
Oh, and get
Get a
microphones. Get microphones. Nobody likes to get microphones. They think the little thing actually works, but it doesn't. It sounds like it does, but it doesn't. Get microphones. There's a company called Uzani on Amazon. They have these really cool wireless mics that you can just clip up to your shirt and connect the other one. Yeah, those are nice. Yeah,
Nice.
right. Those are good. You can get Uzani, Uzani. Yeah. Yeah. They got some good mics. Rode, if you guys look down here, we have some wireless microphones taped to that speaker. Little ghetto setup I do. That really gets the job done. Those are great. The beauty of these is that if you need the audio separately for a podcast or something, it saves on there. It's got a little hard drive in there. You can export that audio and make a podcast out of it. These are Rode Wireless Pro microphones.
Rode Go, I think.
Go
two.
Wireless.
Those are two.
Yeah.
RODE.
RODE, Rode, and then wireless, WIRELESS. Mike, go. I don't know. And wipe your lens. But I will say also, get a light. Get a light. If you're going to buy a ring light, learn how to use it. Do not put that ring light in front of your face.
It's too hot.
Contrary to what influencers are doing, that's not how you properly light yourself, because your cheekbones are going to be extremely bright. You're just going to look extremely washed out. You want your light to act as the sun. Up here, going this way, you'll get a nice shadow under your chin, which will shape your face really nice. And you're going to be well lit. You need to be well lit. These iPhone cameras, these little cameras have tiny sensors. They're horrible in low light. You need to get a good light. I highly recommend a light, a tripod, what else? iPhone holder.
Yep.
Microphones.
But if you don't have a light, I would say whatever the well-lit room is,
Yeah, get a well lit
just use natural light.
Or a little
I would
hack.
diffuse it, though, with like a curtain, like sort of like these. Works really well. It gives you softer light, so it's not too harsh on you when you're recording. So
If you are filming yourself in front of a computer, just go to Google, type white, pick any random white photo, and turn the brightness up on your screen. You have a nice little light lighting you up that way as well.
Say that again, I'm sorry, how hard to do that?
So, oh, I've never heard of that. I'm usually loud. If you just Google white, click any white photo and brighten up your screen, you'll get a nice light. It's diffused, it's not too bright, and it's really gonna help out if you need a light in a pinch. That'll work.
yeah,
The screen is the light.
yeah,
Oh, you know what? A battery. Extra battery chargers.
yeah. You
You
definitely
need
that.
battery chargers.
Yeah.
Please get those. Your battery's gonna die very, very quick if you're gonna be filming video.
Actually, in a previous meeting, I think it was on photography, people were advising to go outside, that natural light had a particular power. Should you make special efforts to go outside if you can, or it doesn't really matter?
Depends on what time of day. Everyone thinks that the sun is out, let's go outside. It's a bad idea. You've
Or-
got extreme shadows under your nose, under your eyes. Now you look like a raccoon. You're sweating all of a sudden. The light's too bright. It's not a good idea. I would say get in, sounds weird, but get in some bright shade. So there's no
Yeah.
hot light on you. There's no crazy shadows on you.
I prefer to shoot in during cloudy days, honestly, just
Yeah.
because it's natural diffusion. I like to shoot on cloudy days, just because it's natural diffusion. It's basically like a big soft light, a soft box over the sun. So, yeah, definitely cloudy days are perfect, or like overcast type of days. Certain times of the day too. Maybe a little bit before 12, before the sun is up at its highest, and then closer to sunset works well too. So
Yeah, it's funny because you can learn a lot by actually having the phone with the camera facing you, the selfie camera, and just kind of holding it up and walking around a room and seeing what the shadows are doing to your own face. You'll kind of know what that looks like. I mean, I think that people under 30 have a real advantage because they've been taking selfies like their entire lives. The rest of us are just like, okay, how do I get rid of that chin? And what about the shadow? Yeah. So, so for those of us who are maybe not as comfortable with editing videos, and it's kind of a new experience for a lot of us, is it better if you're creating a video, whatever kind of video it is it better to try to make the video in one take so there's no editing? Or should you not worry about it and maybe try to do it, do the pieces that you need to do and then edit them together later and not stress about it while you're actually making the video? Like, does it make a more interesting video if you've got like overhead shots and faraway shots and different angles? Or are you okay just trying to do it all at once?
I personally think it's best to do each clip individually instead of trying to do one take. I like to get as many shots as I can from different angles just so I have more to play with. Sometimes I plan out what shots I want ahead of time so that way I'm not wasting time just shooting stuff that I'm not going to use. But when I do end up shooting, I do have a plan as far as like what shots I'm going to use and how I'm going to place them in order for the most part. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll just shoot and then I'll put everything together later, and it works out that way. Yeah.
I do kind of the opposite. I don't like to edit. I hate editing, and it's just a lot of work. If I can't get it right the first time, then I don't want to do it. But
Hey, Daniel, you're a good editor. For us, it's fantastic.
it's the part I don't like. I like going out there and shooting. What I usually do if I rarely talk on camera, but when I do, I hit record once, and then I just go through it. And I like to just have one shot, and if I have to edit, I will film in the order that I'm editing so that I can just cut and delete, cut and delete, cut and delete, cut and delete, get it over with, and just post it. A lot of my phone videos, I really just post. I don't put a lot of effort into them. If I'm filming, then yes, but for my phone, I just go straight through. I think it makes it more interesting to see the mistakes, to see the reality of who you are. I don't like to polish those types of videos a lot, just because I see that people enjoy that from me. Everybody's different though. Gary did a video for me when I released photo presets or video presets, and it was incredible. Shot overhead, a lot of different angles, had screen recordings. It was great. I put it up. It did very well because it was him. When I did it, it did horrible. So I got on camera. I talked, all personality based, and that did incredible. So everybody's really different. Some people don't care about that. Some people just want to see a time lapse of your process. That's the easiest thing to post. Just hit record and post
Yes.
it. You're good to go. But I'm not a fan of editing phone videos. I'm a fan of telling a good story. Some people prefer editing because they like the way it looks. I'm not really big into that. I feel like if I do something with this and the story's well, then it's going to do well. 99% of TikTok videos are recorded in a very crappy way and they do really well. So,
True.
why not?
That video that we shot was that like a couple weeks ago? In here? Yeah. That one it's on my Instagram. But that one I did a whole bunch of different clips and I just put them all together later and then told the story that way. So that's honestly just my way of telling the stories and how I edit.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look at Gary's Instagram, and it's on the sheet that you have there, the last video he had posted was a video he recorded in here interviewing somebody, and there's lots of different examples of things edited together, and it's a beautiful video. It's really interesting. There's a question over here.
So I do ceramics, and it's a long process from when I started this. Yeah. So I've been like saving shots of when I threw it, when it's drying, when I'm glazing it. How do you add all those pieces when you use the apps? Or
How do you add them?
yeah, how do you make a video of all these cuts?
On the apps, just any video app would do. What I would do if I was doing that, because I don't really like to edit, I would go on Instagram, pick the first clip, and then choose on Instagram what few seconds I want, add that. Then grab the other clip, add that. Grab a piece from the other clip, add that. I don't even think about it.
So that's what I do. So that's the way to do it.
That's the way I do it because people like my process, and then I'll add a song over it. Some people might not like that. You might find that you want to do something more complex and then get different angles, get some close-ups, some zoom outs. Some people like doing that. I'm not those people because I do that for a living. So I don't want to do that for my phone also. I want some time off.
So I have a question about, adding captions, adding music. I'm guessing that you don't like too much adding. You like the raw material.
I do it on the app. I'm a big fan of AI, artificial intelligence. I think it's great. I love it because it does all the work for me. So, for example, Instagram, you can just hit add captions and it'll add the captions for you. Whereas before, if anybody here worked in TV or film, you had to type that one letter at a time. And I am a horrible typer. I am the worst. So I did not like it. When it comes to music, I started in the music industry, so I'm all about it. I take my time with that. Before I do any video, you can ask Gary, I'll spend days, sometimes weeks, finding the right music. Sometimes even before I shoot. I'll have a soundtrack to what I'm shooting before I go to the event. So like when I did the award ceremony, I'm already listening to jazz on the way there. I know exactly what song I'm using. Like I said, I film how I edit. So I'm already editing before I start filming. I know what song I want. I know what cuts I want. I know everything I want before I get in.
Yeah.
That's the perfect marriage, though. A lot of people don't realize that in the editing process, like the music plus what you see tells the whole story, right? So as much as it's a visual piece, it's also an auditory piece.
Right, it all works together. The goal of the video is to capture your viewer, right? Some people capture them with comedy, some people with sadness, some people with really cool cuts. I used to say that tears mean dollars. If I saw people cry of laughter, of joy, of sadness, we did great. We're going to get paid. We're going to get another client. So even with my videos on Instagram, yes, I don't care about cutting and editing, but I like to add songs that really help tell the story. I think that's To me, that's the main part. I prefer that over the video any day. Wipe your lens.
We're going to hear that in our sleep tonight, I think.
Oh, I just want to add one thing. There's an app called Captions. I think it's specifically for videos on Instagram. I definitely recommend downloading that if you want to add captions. I think there's like creative ways to change the colors, and I think it does more than Instagram can do. Yellow?
Yeah, yellow.
I-
Yellow is so colors too, right? If you're gonna add captions, if you notice, a lot of the viral videos are yellow captions. There's a reason for that. Studies have shown that yellow captions are way more attractive to the eye. It pops and it works a lot. I don't really know about it. If they say yellow, then I'm going with yellow. I just put the AI auto and let it do its thing.
Okay, so what happens if you're like our ceramicist before? Like you're creating a video and you're saving clips over time because your process takes a long time. And you decide you want to add like a voiceover, like you talking about your process and you add it in afterwards. Is it hard to do that? Is it better to try to narrate as you're going so that it's part of the piece of video when you're clipping it? Or is it better to try to do a voiceover afterwards where you know what the beginning, middle, and end is?
At the end, do the voiceover. I actually did that for the video that Daniel was talking about, where I was talking about his LUTs. So I put everything in order as far as the video part, and then I literally just took a microphone and spoke over it, recorded it, and I just put that over the footage. So definitely easier to do that. Trying to do it while you're doing it it's too difficult, honestly, for me at least.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I do it at the end. I have a process, so I'll sequence first. After I sequence, I'll color. Like I'll cut, I'll paste the pieces where I want them first.
Putting all the clips.
Yeah,
in
I
order
put all the
how you
clips
want
where I
them.
want them in order. Well, first I pick the song. Then I put the pieces according to the song, because the song I feel makes the video. Then I will color it, meaning I'll make it look real moody, make it look happy, more saturated, adjust the colors. Then I'll do the voiceover. You don't want to do the voiceover and then go and start, messing up your video or your voiceover because it got in the way. You recorded this whole paragraph and now you got to redo the whole thing. Just do it at the end. Please be careful with that tripod, everybody. Please, we've had issues before that really messed it up. I would prefer if you do go off the carpet, though. That's freaking me out a little bit. Sorry.
But isn't video about April?
Yeah, that's also about 10 grand. So thank you. So yeah, I would do voiceover after.
That's good to know. And then what about the pros? I mean, you talked a little bit about music. Do you have places that you look for copyright-free music? Because we've all had the experience where either ourselves or other people we know have created like an amazing video and we posted it, and then Instagram takes it down because they say that you violated a copyright. So where do we go to find good music? You've already said like how important music is to you, but do you find that videos with music do better than videos without music? Like, speak about music for us.
Definitely music. Actually, last night I did a video of one of our artists here and I posted it. Within 5 seconds, take it down. Posted it again, 30 minutes later, 5 seconds later, taken down. You just can't do it. There's companies like ASCAP, CSAC, BMI, they hunt down these songs and they will take it down. So get a royalty-free music website. SoundCloud, it still has songs that can
they'll
be taken
take it
down.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, I do not recommend it unless you know the artist. If you know the artist and they give you permission, fine. But even that doesn't mean anything because if they have a deal with ASCAP or BMI, it's going to be taken down. So you can sign up for, actually Instagram has songs that are available. You can do that. You can use a program called MusicBed. What's the other one?
Just signed up for that.
Epidemic Sound. What's the other one? There's a bunch. You can just Google royalty-free music websites. There's one now that has actually music industry songs. You pay, I think, $40 a month. You can use all the songs in their collection. That's really cool. If you hear a song on the radio and you say, I want to make a video out of that, it's really cool. Like yesterday, I had Blackstreet. I really wanted to use that song, and it kept getting taken down. And it changes the mood of your video. You saw the video with Blackstreet. It looked really funny and cool. And I had to put, your basic classical song on there that makes everything sound, classical. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think music is important. Even if you're talking, doing a voiceover, lower the volume on the music. I like music on everything. Some people don't.
I think the best free option is just to go through Instagram, honestly. Whatever songs they have on there, you can even go to the artist page. They might even have like a songs section and just take the song from there. So, yeah.
Thank you. That's helpful. Should you add graphics or titles to your video for social? And is it different if you're saving it for a website?
Is it different if you're saving for a website?
Should you always save when you're doing it for a website?
Uh-huh.
Should you always save graphics?
Oh, I mean, it's a creative choice. It's really up to you. I don't add any titles besides maybe someone's Instagram tag. That's about it. I'm anti-title in graphics. I don't like it. I'm all about the story. People on TikTok love titles and graphics. It's just a preference, really.
When it comes to Instagram, I would say the caption is probably the most important part that helps someone stay on the page at least. Because you can explain more in the caption than you can in the video. The video is more just to catch people on your page. Yeah, yeah. Not the captions like what you're saying in the video, but like the actual caption on the posts. Yeah, the description. I guess that's what it's. Yeah.
This is a very amateur question. But let's say that you create a video, using Instagram. Can you use that same video and import it into like new LinkedIn, video sections that they're doing now or professionals?
You can. I don't know if you're going to want to use that exact video because most likely you're going to shoot that video vertically. I think horizontal videos do better on like LinkedIn and possibly Twitter and
Facebook.
Facebook.
Versus horizontal, we're talking about the actual.
Right. So it does make a difference. It's interesting how these websites work. So, for example, remember when I said the music industries had people or systems that hunt down those songs? Same thing with these companies. They have systems that can hunt down logos. If Instagram sees a TikTok logo on their service, even though you downloaded it from TikTok and posted it on Instagram, you're not going to get that many views. Same thing if you upload it on Facebook. I think Shorts, YouTube has Shorts now, which is their version of Reels. I would create 2 separate videos, one for Reels and one for YouTube. So one vertical, one horizontal. And if you're going to upload to Facebook, upload one to Facebook. Don't download from Facebook and upload that download to another app. Do them separately. It's a lot. And I've seen it. Yeah, we've tried it out, and it sucks, but it does. And if you upload one time and then delete it and then re-upload again, you're not going to get that many views either. They're really on top of this stuff. Yes, Lori.
This is an algorithm question.
Yeah.
So, this is crazy. I have an account for my dog. Yes, I'm that person. Anyway, I noticed that every time I start my video saying Milo, I get 1,000,000 likes just because I start
Yeah.
saying Milo, and anything else will get exponentially less than that.
The algorithm is strange. It changes all the time. I have a friend who started her business off of TikTok, and she told me that her videos only do well if within 2 seconds she zooms into her face twice. If she doesn't, it's not doing well. So yeah, algorithms matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being consistent with it as well, whatever that thing is.
I think she raised her hand first, but I want to
Yes, Alicia?
back off of her. I was going to do, well, piggyback off her
Yeah.
I got some for that too. But if you call Milo thing every time, you're psychologically telling your followers that that's what you're gonna do. And on TikTok, they like continuity and consistency, so that's a
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say it every time. Every time. Even if you don't really need
Yep.
to,
Yeah.
or just have an audio clip that you can just fuse in
Yeah.
before you start your video, so that it's the same cadence, the same inflection every time. I would do that, and I can teach you how to do
Someone
that.
even took my voice and put it on their dog video. And like,
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Can you share that with everyone after? Your voice saying Milo?
I was going to go back to the vertical or horizontal question because different apps have different formats, right? So like Reels and TikTok are vertical; they're the long way. Other ones, and I was going to ask about iMovie because I use iMovie as well, but iMovie is limited because you cannot do vertical videos on iMovie. Right? You can only do the horizontal.
Yeah.
There's a workaround, but it gives you that screen.
Just use a different app.
Yeah, you could use another
Just a
app.
different app. Yeah.
What I was going to ask is, if we created a video in one of the apps that's not TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, and so those logos don't pop up,
Uh-huh.
does it really boil down to that being our best bet? And then, like, we could add it to create the video on a separate app and then add whatever music.
Yeah.
Like, if I go to Instagram, I can add music.
Yeah, that's what I do. I add my music on Instagram. So if I have to use an industry song, a music industry song, I'll edit, well, not on my phone, but on my computer, I'll edit it using that song, and then I'll go to Instagram and lower the volume of the song on my video, and then use the song within Instagram.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
exactly just
Yeah.
match it up.
Instagram doesn't have that song, you just look for something.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to just piggyback. I do a TV show, and sometimes when we have guests, they submit to us like video, and it's terrible quality when it's that up and down. It's gotta be because for TV, they
Yeah.
have to format it.
Yep.
and
Yes.
It's like skinny, and then the two sides are like.
We deal with that all the time.
Absolutely.
I caution because all of us are here because we're trying to tell a story of our business, our nonprofit, or whatever is the work that we're doing. Think about your audience.
Right.
If you ultimately want to have something where you're showing it, it becomes a marketing, you're going to be speaking somewhere, think about that because it has to be reformatted, and sometimes we have to scrap the whole thing because it
Right.
doesn't work. They want it to be kind of.
Yes, you have to film for the app or you have to film for the place that you're uploading to. You know, you can use vertical on YouTube Shorts, but don't use vertical on regular YouTube. You can use YouTube or, horizontal for Facebook, but then use vertical for their version of Reels. So upload and film for the app that you're going to be, posting it to. Makes a huge difference because if you film horizontally and you upload to a vertical app, it's going to, number one, compress your video. So now it's going to be very grainy. You're going to get very zoomed in, and we're going to see every single detail in your face along with grain. And it just doesn't look good. The things that were meant to be in the middle are now not in the middle. They're in the left, or they're not even on the frame. So just film for the app that you're going to be uploading to. It makes a big difference.
so that's why we're seeing PewDiePie's in business.
Huh?
These are the details of PewDiePie.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Is that why you're seeing those videos where, like, they'll have the name and then it looks like it's out of frame?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a new thing.
No, it's because people don't want to take the time. They don't want to take the time to realign every clip. So what they do is they'll take a final mastered video and just put it within the phone frame and leave it like that. What I have to do when clients ask me for that is I have to go back to the program, and every single clip individually, I have to adjust it to match the phone, which you're right. It does keep
Yep.
us in business. So but I also don't like editing. So
Yeah.
let's just do it right the first time and wipe your lens.
If you're having to decide whether to film mostly in horizontal or vertical, do you make a choice one way or the other, or do you film everything twice just in case, or what? What do you do?
Depends where it's going. If I've had clients who say, hey, I asked them, where is this going? If this is going on Reels, then I'm actually going to rotate my camera to get the best quality out of that camera because I don't want to cut it and zoom in. If I'm filming for YouTube, then we're going to go horizontal. I prefer to get everything done on film the first time. I do not want to edit because it reduces the quality. It takes up a lot of time. Things take forever because we're going through meetings. Make this change, make that change. Do it right the first time.
I shoot horizontal and vertical at the same time on the tripod. So it's literally a tripod and then an attachment for a cell phone, and I have my DSLR camera and then my cell phone. So I do two things at once so that I maximize my.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do two. That's why you need those hard drives.
Right.
Yeah.
I have two phone cameras.
So I guess it makes sense to buy a new phone, but don't trade in the old one. Take out the SIM card and you can keep using it. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
So I have a question about timing. I don't know whether you have anything to say about timing. I mean, for different formats, is there an ideal time, a maximum time for length of the video? Is that a consideration, or what do you have to say about it?
You can go.
Every app has a preferred time length. I believe Instagram Reels is below 30 seconds, or is it 15?
Nah, it's a minute.
Well,
1
that's
minute
how much
30.
they give you, but from what I've been told with the algorithm, shorter videos are better for, more attention. But you can go up to, you guys said like a minute and 30? Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly like to do 30, to be honest. I get the most engagement that way. TikTok is how many?
I think it's 10 minutes for some.
10.
10 minutes, dude, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not sitting there watching a 10-minute TikTok.
I have. When they show us really interesting movie clips. Yeah,
Go
like
watch the
movie
movie.
clips or
Go watch the movie.
you can watch it on your phone on TikTok. But it's
I'm not
cut
doing
because they didn't film properly,
Yeah, I'm not
so you
doing
miss a
that.
bunch.
Yeah, it's vertical now. Like,
Honestly, I would say follow the cap, stay within the cap,
yes.
go as long as you want.
And then the shorts on YouTube, right, is 60?
I think
60
shorts
seconds?
on YouTube are 60.
Yeah, if it goes over
Yeah.
60, then it becomes like a full
It's a lot.
video instead of a short.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, do what you feel comfortable with. The moment you start overthinking, throw your phone out. You're doing too much. It's not worth it. I've seen people lose them. You've seen people lose themselves over social media videos. It's just not worth it. It's not. Create good content. Be yourself. Stay within that cap. And I guarantee you people will enjoy it. My highest ranking videos are just me talking when I don't wipe my lens. And people like them. Just follow the caps, but don't overthink it. Because I know everyone's asking questions and they're going to go home and probably go, I got to get this, I got to get this, I got to get this. Don't do that. Just be yourself. If you want to do like multiple clips, of you doing ceramics, just one angle, it works. I have friends who are artists with hundreds of thousands of followers who just do that. And it works. I know people who go very complex edits and only have 300 followers. And they can't sleep at night because they're like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to chase the algorithm. Don't do that.
Yeah, I think overthinking it is a huge problem for us.
Overthinking
Someone
it.
said to me a couple weeks ago, specifically around arts, like, what are the videos that you watch? It's the stupidest, mundane stuff that people watch, right? And I was like, let me test this out. So I literally recorded myself peeling paint.
It did great, right?
I saw that video.
Can I tell you something?
I opened the buckets, and it's on speed.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning out the mural paint from these buckets because I want to preserve.
So this is how I scroll, right?
And people are watching this thing.
I go like this with friends and family. I really don't care who's posting. I go like this. I saw Alicia's video this morning. And not only did I see Alicia's video, I went on my business page, searched Alicia, and looked for that video because it looked cool. It's just a time lapse.
I put like no thought. I was just like,
But
look,
that's,
what happened? And my daughter, she researches. You know, she's in the generation. They're all, you know, she's 25, so it's a normal thing. And she said to me, Mom, you're constantly moving around the studio, doing all these things. Record yourself. I'm like, I don't remember to record myself. I was like record myself peeling paint. She's like, yes, that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
And I posted the freaking video, and
Yeah. We've tried it. We post dumb things
Yeah.
and that works.
I think as long as you're authentically being yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I say don't overthink it. Do not. You've seen my videos. I have videos that I've uploaded, cinematic videos with crazy equipment and lights and big brands. They probably get 30 views. Nothing. Overcut. I post myself talking or just eating a taco. I get hits. It works really well. You've seen it. My taco pictures get more love than my actual work. It's very sad. Yeah.
You had a question?
it's just because, not because you do it every day. If you do it every day and you think it's, I mean, for you it's your regular life, but for other people it's just so much fun to see what,
Yeah.
especially in the fields we are, you know, people.
And it sounds very arrogant, but they want to be you.
Yeah, no, it is.
They want to live your life because they work 9 to 5s.
the other thing that I
You're a
learned.
rock star and you don't know it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've learned too, as far as like, you know, I have no interest in gaining followers. Like people are gonna follow whether they want to or not. But what I do find is that people love seeing you as your authentic self.
Yes.
Like, okay, the art is cool, but what do you do when you're not creating art? And how do you behave? And what kind of, like, they will actually want to see who you are as a person.
Makes you relatable.
You are your brand.
Yeah.
Right? So they like to see not only art, but also some personal elements mixed in too. So.
Right.
I get decent likes when I show my work, but when I show my other side of me, I get more likes.
Yes.
I always get more likes in real life.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes.
Yes, what people want to see.
So this question bridges into now content ideas. So how do you, we just talked about time lapses. How do you guys feel about time lapses, and is there an ideal setting for it? Because sometimes you can change like how often the photo is taken, I guess. I personally love watching time lapse. My favorite ones are people cleaning up their studios. Like Lou here does that all the time, like, or she used to. She used to set up and you'd see her like very busy scurrying around, and it like motivates me to want to clean my studio and clean up my space and get ready for a new project. But is there like an ideal setting for it? Is it like a very basic thing? Just in terms of content, how do you feel about time lapses?
So there's 2 types of time lapses. There's one where you film and it's just a fast forward. That's a video time lapse. That's the one your phone does. It's very, very simple. That one, I don't know if the phone does it. I know some cameras do it. You set and you go, hey, I want to turn this into record for the next 4 hours and I want it to be 30 seconds, and it'll know how fast to go. The other type of time lapse is a photo time lapse, which is what you guys see in Hollywood films where the sun is setting and rising. That it's taking individual photos and then putting them together to make what looks like a video. It's actually like a flip book, right? So with those type of time lapses, you actually have to think about your settings because each photo is capturing light. So you got longer exposures, things that are gonna look blurry and stretched out. You might not want that. So make your shutter speed fast, maybe over 300 of a second. That'll work. But if you're shooting from your phone, depending on what app you're using, if it's a video time lapse, honestly, you can just record video and then fast forward and slow it down within the app. If you have a photo app or a video that takes real time lapses, which are photos, then make sure you have a good shutter speed that's fast if you want it to look natural. Time lapses do great. I get very mad when I film for 5 hours and the time lapse is 5 seconds long when I wanted it to be 30. But you can adjust that with your app, so it's fine. There really is no settings for that though, unless you're doing the photo time lapse.
Okay. Okay. So what category of videos should artists, or do you recommend that artists post? So things like processed or finished works or maybe interviews or inspiration, or do you have other ideas?
I would say post all of it. Post everything. Behind the scenes, every step of the way, the final product, even you brainstorming the idea. I wouldn't post that first. Though. I would probably finish everything and then post it because I wouldn't hate to put something you're brainstorming out there and you haven't even completed it yet. But still,
All of it. Yes, Alicia.
Do you guys have any tips to help us remember to record ourselves doing all these things?
Oh, yes, because you know me, I forget mad stuff. You know that. You know I forget. Yeah, yeah.
Get into my zone and I'm like, oh my God, I should be recording this.
Yeah. Reminders. Use the reminders apps on your phone.
yeah.
Hey Siri, remind me to pay this bill. Hey Siri, remind me to fill this, film that. Like every time.
You got Siri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or put in your calendar. I do that.
Yeah.
I use my calendar. I use reminders. I have Gary. Like people, Gary will always tell me, "Fam, remember to do this or do that every day." Or Jane will tell me, "Remember to do this."
I forget and I feel like
Same.
I have this, I'm like, oh man, I should have recorded that. Like, I'll finish and I'm like, oh, I should. Because the thing is, you go into your studio and you're in the process of creating. You're not, like, we have to be creators and content creators. And sometimes I'm like, I just want to go into my studio and paint. And I forget in order to
Yeah.
engage people, I have to record what I'm doing. And I just
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like the opposite of don't overthink, don't underthink also. But like do reminders. I have in my notes app a list of a ton of videos that I should do or or I'm
Yeah.
going to do. But honestly, also just get into a habit of it. I used to when I first started, I was managing some woman's social media page and I helped set up her page and she never filmed herself. And then I said, just wake up and film yourself brushing your teeth. Film yourself don't post it, but get into the habit of filming yourself. Within 3 months, she was so comfortable, we got that page to like 300,000. So you just have to get into the habit of it. If you noticed on my page, like I was not lying when I said I post videos of me eating tacos. It works. It's a habit. People want to see that, unfortunately. I posted videos of what? Me just walking. I don't know. People
Yeah.
want to see everything.
You walking, skating.
Oh yeah. Every week there's a video of me skateboarding somewhere or roller skating somewhere.
Yep.
People like it. Just be yourself. Don't overthink and don't underthink, but post it all. Right. Even
Yeah.
if you don't plan to post it.
Add it into your routine.
Right. I have videos of cars in the past that I've owned getting towed. Never posted. Maybe one day I will. But I wanted to get into the habit of posting or recording my life. And it works.
The other day, I saw a TikTok of a woman waking up like 3 a.m. just to feed her newborn baby, and she set up. She didn't show her setting up the light, but she set up a ring light, and then You saw that? She set up. She went to go get the milk. Did she breastfeed or did she have like a bottle?
I don't know. They went in on her.
Yeah, they definitely went in on her because it was like, wait a minute, you set up everything and then went to feed your baby, and then like.
They were like, maybe the baby would go to bed if you don't have that ring light. In your face.
But if she can do that, then any one of us in this room can.
So for your
shoot
studio,
myself.
Alicia, I have a really practical suggestion because I do this for things like remembering to water my plants. Before you leave, put your tripod right in front of the door so that when you open the door, the tripod is right there and you have to walk through it to get to the wherever you're going.
your tripod set up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be better at
Yeah.
cleaning my space though, so I feel like leaving the tripod out is messing that habit up. But whatever. I'll figure something out.
I do that with my watering can and my tripod, and I water the plants and then forget to film myself.
Thank you.
There was a question.
Not necessarily a question, but a
Comment.
right? So if you're any type of creative or you're somebody that whatever you love means something to you, even though it might not be right now, because you never know how that's gonna play in to whatever with the future, one. And then two, name it, right? Because I would have photographed something 3 years ago, and now all of a sudden this person's getting an award, they're a friend, or their birthday. I can't find wherever the hell it's at. So what folder, folders or whatever, just that saving process is really
Right. That's a big
Yeah.
thing. Let's talk
Being
about data
organized.
management.
Yes.
Data management will save your life. So in your hard drives, whenever you back up your stuff, manage your data, whether it's by month, week, day,
Year.
year. I do it based on the client, and then I'll put the client, and then what year, and then what month, and what day. Like, manage your data. I find that clients will come back 3 years later, like, hey, do you still have this footage? Yep, I got it. Or you might say, oh, I want, I have a lot of artists here that I know that will put old stuff on the wall. What if you want to talk about the stuff you're putting on the wall that you made 4 years ago and you happen to have video for that? If you manage your data, you know where it is, you can upload the video and get the word out.
What size did you say for the hard drive?
I think 500 is good. A terabyte is good.
I
For
prefer
phone,
more,
terabyte,
honestly.
more. But for phone.
For phone,
For phone.
yeah, 500 to like a terabyte,
A hard drive.
maybe 2 terabyte.
Oh, 2 to 4 terabytes, I think would be fine. Get an SSD. SSD, please.
Yes.
Do not get a drive with a disk in it because it's gonna break down. They just get old. SSDs are basically memory cards. You can drop them. They're fine. They'll last forever. They cost a little more. It's like 2 terabytes for $220.
Yeah.
But it's, oh yeah, 100%. I mean, especially if you have personal things on your phone, get an SSD. If you want to pay for cloud storage, go for it as a backup. I have 3 backups to everything I film. I go through 8 terabytes a month. So, like,
Crazy.
you guys should be able to be fine with 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. Yes.
Some of us that are really late to social media for whatever reason, I have thousands of still photos. And I mean, how does one maybe interject still photos into videos to kind of record and have this in time?
Like within the program?
Well, in a program, I know how to do it, but
Yeah.
does that seem like old school?
Not at all. Not at all.
Or do you post them separately?
Mix them up. You can mix them up if you want. Why not?
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, go for it.
Will make it feel more current, potentially.
It's honestly whatever helps tell your story better. I still have clients that send me photos when I have to do their videos, and I have to figure out a way to make it. But even if you watch documentaries, they have photos mixed with their videos. A lot of Instagram pages mix photos with videos. Just be creative with it. Whatever you have to do to tell your story. I'm a fan of mixing grainy iPhone 4 footage with 4K footage and 8K footage. I don't really care about the quality or the format. It could be photos that are extremely grainy mixed with 8K video. As long as it tells the story, people will watch. If we watch Alicia peeling paint, we will watch that too. It told a story. That's what we want.
So one thing I know on iPhones, and I'm not sure it's possible on Androids, but there's a way of making what they call a live photo. And a live photo is actually a short video. And if you always have your photo set to doing a live photo, you're basically recording a bunch of tiny videos that you can use as clips when you're stringing them together to make something, especially if there's action in the photograph, right? Yeah, and I had one other really weird clip. I have a niece who is really popular on TikTok, and she has tons of followers, and she's very strategic about how she does it. And the place where she works actually now hires her to be their TikTok person. And she was saying that when you're creating a video, and we've all had this experience where you're watching a video and you're like the payoff at the end, like it's telling a story, and you get to the very end and it's really short and it feels like it's cut off, and you're like, wait, I didn't get that. And you have to watch it again. And that's intentional so that you watch it repeatedly to be able to see it so that you get more views, and then that gets more engagement and it gets shown to more people. And so it feels a little cynical, manipulative. I'm not sure what the word is, but it's an actual strategy that will help your engagement to have that like cut off at the end very short. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So speaking about things like that, how do you guys feel about using trending audio or trending video ideas, like jumping in? So for example, here at Metro, there was a trend this year, earlier in the spring, where everybody was making a movie in the Wes Anderson style and then posting it. So we jumped in on that. Actually, the most fun I've had all year was making that video with Jess, coming up with the ideas of it, shooting all the little clips, putting it all together, putting a filter on it, adding the music and the fonts, and studying like what makes a Wes Anderson movie, like what are the hallmarks of it. But there's other ones that are like much simpler than that, obviously, that are trending video, trending audio. Is that something we should be paying attention to, something we should be trying to jump in on to be able to capitalize on a trend so that we can get some more views also?
I would say yes. Trends are trends because they're trendy. If it works, it works. I mean, I'm not a fan of the trends, but again, I have that. I film. I don't need to do trends. It's just more work for me. But the trends work. It gets people involved. You become a part of the community. Every trend has a community of people who share it. No matter how wacky it can be, it's a trend. It's working. So yeah, use it. I like trending sounds. I think those are hilarious. I love those.
Yeah.
Also, for me, those trending videos, they require a lot of editing, which is cool because every trend usually comes with a tutorial of how to do it. If you chase it long enough, someone's going to break down how to do it. So it's a good way to learn as well. So yeah, go for it. Do the trends. If you find them to be something you like to do it.
Yeah, definitely. If you're into the trend, I would say do it. But don't follow the trend to the point where you're not doing your own original work as well, because that's more important. That people come to your page for what you do. You would basically use the trend to get people onto your page at the end of the day. So, yeah.
What are some ideas for videos to post to your website? So as opposed to social, like you're posting something to your website, you're assuming it's going to live there for a much longer period of time. Like what types of videos should you post to that? And what are you looking for? Is it better to do it vertically or horizontally? Does it matter?
This is where we make our money. So, if you're going to do a website, you don't want trends. Get away from trends. You don't want vertical. You want basically that video on your website to be the video that explains everything you do. Everything you've filmed over the past years might be in that one video. Sometimes people have interviews where they describe what they do. So my name is Daniel. We make films. We do advertisements. And then I show what that looks like. Very different. Again, film for the platform you're going to be uploading to. If you're uploading to your website, that's your business card right there. That's your business. You don't want them to go see you eating a taco on your website. You want that to be your business, your storefront, basically. Make it count. If you need to hire, and don't do that on your phone. I would not recommend doing that on your phone. If you could pull it off, go for it. But for that, hire a professional or get an intern to do it on a camera that can give you better resolution, better color science, and better audio.
Let's see. Oh, David has a question.
Oh, I think we've answered that. There was a question about what your most successful videos been and were they a surprise? I mean, I think we've covered that in terms of skateboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Or eating a taco. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Okay, so now we're going to move on to posting videos. This is where it's a mystery to most of us, right? Okay, we talked about storing videos. sometimes do you have the option, like I know in iMovie you do, about compressing a video when you're saving it because the files are so big and they take a long time to upload and then download. If you have the option to compress a video, should you or should you never do that? And what types of settings are you looking for when you're actually saving the edited product?
That's a whole ball of craziness because it's insane. Compression ratios and a lot of the bit rates and all. It's insane. That camera alone has like 12 different compressions on it. It's crazy. So if you're using a phone app, just get the highest quality export you can do. Instagram's gonna compress it anyways.
TikTok will too.
TikTok will too. They all compress it. I can film in 8K and Instagram will go LOL. You thought it was gonna be 8K.
Bring it down to 1080.
Yeah, bring it down to 1080 or 720.
Yeah.
So definitely compress to the highest you can in your program. But when you're going to upload on Instagram, go to your advanced settings and scroll down to where it says upload at highest quality. This is in Instagram. A lot of people skip that part where it's a different type of compression that's not so grainy. And also, before you do that, there's two settings. First, go to your profile settings and hit upload at highest quality. Then go to when you're about to post, scroll down to the settings, hit upload as highest quality. Once it's uploading, do not touch it. Just leave it there. Don't let it shut off, but just leave it there. Let Instagram upload it and upload it on Wi-Fi too. You don't want any interruptions, and you should get a good quality. YouTube Shorts, do them on your computer. Twitter does a pretty good job with compression. Instagram started compressing photos too. So, but yeah, just make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi. Don't open up other apps while you're uploading, and check the settings in each app and make sure that you're uploading at the highest quality.
Do you have a process when you're posting videos? Like, are there steps where you say, well, I have to do this thing first, and then I have to do this thing second? And part of that for me would be, once you have a finished video, do you delete all the clips that went into it, or do you kind of save them in a folder all by themselves in case you want to use them in a different order later? Like, what's the process of, once you're kind of finished with the video, what do you do then?
My first step after I finish the video is to figure out what the caption is going to be. And then from there, I still do hashtags here and there, but honestly, I know that my target audience are the people that mostly are already following me. In order to attract more people to the page, it's going to be through Reels. So the algorithm will take care of that for the most part, depending on the song that I choose, just the whole vibe of the video. But yeah, definitely the caption is next, or the description. And then the location, if you decide to do that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for that process. But as far as having the clips, I don't delete those. I save them on one of those hard drives, or I put them into one of the cloud services, just because I might want to use some of those clips for something else later on down the line. But yeah.
I mean, I don't delete anything. You want to save it because you never know when you're going to use it. Like I said, I have clients who come back to me years later asking me for that footage because they want to use it in their new projects. So also, I might want to use it. You may want to tell your story somewhere and you need that footage. It's also good because they're just great memories for you to have. But honestly, when it comes to posting for my crazy videos of my life, I post whenever I want. Business-related posts, I'm strategic with when I post them. I'll post them around 7 a.m. when I know everyone just woke up, they're drinking their coffee, or they just got to work, and they're scrolling through their phone. One around lunchtime, because I know everybody's eating lunch and scrolling through their phone. And then right before 10 p.m., when I know everyone's getting ready for bed and scrolling through their phone for the next 2 hours. That's when I post my business videos. You can go and follow the algorithm, but you're going to drive yourself crazy. So I just follow the human pattern. of how I see people live. And I'm not really big into followers. My clients have the followers. So I'm just looking for people to enjoy what I post. That's it.
And, oh, Carmen,
I just wanted to make a comment because people were, everybody's process is different, and I'm not aware of the caliber and I find it, anyway, the other stuff that I do. But even though I shot whatever it is, unless the picture looks horrible, I don't delete anything. Because you never know, like, the client might be like, I think you look great. They're like, I don't like my right hair, it looks crazy. And you can't use that. So I don't destroy anything, I keep it somewhere, because you never know what they might want different, or what we might need to change years from now. So I back it up and then I keep it, the idea is titleless, so if you have to go back and check it, but I don't delete anything I shot, unless it's like really, really bad, then I'm like, just get rid of that thing. And I reshoot the same thing a couple of different times, because we've done some videos and you never say it exactly the same way, and you're like, oh, I like that cut better. So until you use 100% what you're gonna do, because then you just can't get, well, you can then put it away and get your data back, depending on how you did it, like an SD card, you can retrieve it, like if you reshot something over it, depending on what I have to pay, to retrieve some of that old data, but you are able to. Right, absolutely.
what's the best way to share a video with somebody else? So if you're sending a video to somebody, like it's hard to email a file over 20 megabytes, and a lot of videos are bigger than 20 megabytes. So is there a preferred way of doing that?
YouTube. I upload whenever I have to send a client a video or something. I upload to YouTube using an unlisted link, and then I'll send you the link to that. So you don't have to download it. You don't have to ask me, how does this program work? How does this work? Just click the link. You can watch it. If you
Yeah.
want to share it, you share the link.
That's more for viewing, but
Yeah.
like to actually
The
give
file?
someone the actual file,
Google Drive.
Google Drive, honestly. I know some people like Dropbox, but I prefer Google Drive. Honestly.
Right.
Yeah, it's just better.
WeTransfer's fine,
too,
but there's an
yeah.
expiration date on that.
Yeah, so
Dropbox, I think, is horrible because if I'm paying for 30 gigabytes and you're not, now you have to pay for 30 gigabytes. Why am I giving my friends bills? I should not be doing that. Google Drive, I think, is better. I upload the folder and I send you the link. And you choose if you want to download, and you don't have to pay for it.
yeah.
The other thing is with Google Drive though, you'll run out of space if you're not paying for it. So what I'll do is I'll send people files and I'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what I'm gonna be removing, so download what you need.
Right.
It won't be there. I make it expire, otherwise I'm stuck with that.
Yeah. Right, and it doesn't inconvenience them. It's just very easy. Dropbox is just such a pain. So Google Drive all day.
Yeah.
So we use YouTube quite a bit. I was curious about whether you generally recommend people having a YouTube account as
Yeah.
a way for like keeping the serious stuff, the stuff that you really want to.
You can put everything on
Collect.
YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube has YouTube Shorts now for the not so serious stuff. And you'll make more money off YouTube than you will on Instagram. And
Do you have any tips with
with
know,
YouTube?
dealing with YouTube?
YouTube is very interesting. The people who make money off YouTube make money off YouTube. And they follow the algorithm, but the YouTube algorithm changes a lot. You master it and it changes. And it's very cool because YouTube gives everybody a chance. If you're consistent, it'll give you a chance. My brother started a YouTube page a year ago, and he just got the opportunity to monetize, and he's already getting sponsors. And it's been great. He doesn't have that many views, but it's up there. YouTube has a system. If you get X amount of views, you can monetize. You need X amount of views and X amount of followers. So they will reward you if you work hard. It's not like some magic algorithm. Like, they will reward you, and then the algorithm comes into place. But if you post consistently, you'll get people watching, and they want to watch long-form content. I had a client who was hiring me to edit her vlogs. I don't know much about editing women's fashion vlogs, so I hired someone to do it. And I sat in on that meeting, and they were talking about 30-minute vlogs. I thought they were out of their mind. I would never watch that. But it turns out that's very, very common in the women's fashion space. Long form video does amazing on YouTube. So, and you'll get better chances to make money off of that too.
When you say upload consistently, like you said, your brother doesn't have that many minutes. What do you,
So
what would you call consistent?
my brother would post 2 times a week, 3 times a week. He'd follow a schedule. And over time, those little micro views of 3 views here, 7 views there, 100 views here, they added up over time. And because he had a lot of videos, he got a lot of views. And it worked out. And now his videos are getting 10,000 views, 30,000 views, lots of comments. It's another thing. Don't read your comments on YouTube. Don't do that. Yeah.
So another thing, I mean, there's a lot that you wouldn't post to YouTube. I mean, most of what you'd post to TikTok or Instagram, you wouldn't post to YouTube. So there's a kind of a YouTube.
Yes and no.
Type
The
or
YouTube
not?
is different. YouTube is very different. I've seen a lot of TikToks on YouTube Shorts because YouTube welcomes everybody. Remember, YouTube started all this. They are the grandfather of all this. So they still run that whole area. YouTube is incredible. I'd post to YouTube before I post to TikTok any day. And the YouTube community, the positive ones, are very, very positive. And they really do help creators. They've always supported creators. They back up creators. I'm a big, big fan of YouTube for that. Yes.
You said, don't read your comments, but do you feel like when you're doing reels, on Instagram, that it's important to?
Well, yeah, that's Instagram. Instagram's different. Instagram's nice. They're polite. They look out for you. They love you. YouTube is not like that. YouTube is, oh, no. YouTube will go against your family. They will comment against your family, your everything, the way you look. It's the people, yeah. Because YouTube, I think, is the number 2 biggest search engine in the world. So everybody's on there from all over the world. They don't censor as much as Instagram does or Facebook does or TikTok is doing. YouTube they let everybody in. It's intense.
Do we have any more questions?
Well, we wanted to take the time to thank David for being part of this. And for being such a massive part of the Fairfield County scene, the art scene. And we know he's not going anywhere. He's just going into new directions and new adventures. And we brought some cupcakes to share to help celebrate. Yeah. And we'd really like for everybody to take part in that. And yeah, and just thank you. There are very big shoes to fill right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So the next Artist Work Lab is in October. It is on the topic of avoiding and handling copyright problems. So, you know, a lot of times you see topics like that where it's like copyright for artists. This is really specific. Like, what happens if somebody infringes your copyright? What do you do when that happens? What steps do you take? And we'll have both professionals in the field, lawyers to advise, and at least 1, maybe 2 artists who've had it happen to them and what steps they've had to take.
Nothing like a real story.
Oh my gosh, yeah, really. You're awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. This is really great. Oh, and one more thing, sorry. Next Wednesday, we have a new series starting, and it's a music series. It's called South End Sounds. It feels a little bit like a Tiny Desk concert or So Far Sounds, which is like a pop-up music performance in different kinds of quirky venues. It will always be here. The music is highly curated by one of our musicians here, Drew Angus. It will be 3 performers each time. Sometimes it'll be all musicians, sometimes it'll be 2 musicians and a spoken word artist, and they will be performing. You won't know who it is until you get here. So it's a little bit of a surprise, but we guarantee it's going to be super high quality and very original work. And it's early enough. It's the doors open at 6. The performances start around 6:30. That afterwards you could head downtown for one of the amazing restaurants or bars, or you could be really inspired and head to karaoke afterwards. But we just really want to help support what's going on downtown and also bring music here. So that's up on our website. There's a poster in the lobby about it as well, and it's next Wednesday. The tickets are really reasonable. They're $15 a person in advance. And it promises to be really kind of a special treat for that. So we'd love for you to check it out.
David, you don't want to say anything? No?
He's probably going to do this over and over again.
It's, it's a pleasure. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm around. I love this community. I hope to be part of it moving forward. So I love you all. Thank you for coming, and it's been a great adventure.
All right. Thank you, David.